The purpose of this video project is to encourage you to be mindful of the role that alcohol and drugs will play and are going to play in your study abroad experience. We're hopeful that by watching this and engaging in discussion with your peers and those who are accompanying you on the study abroad experience, that you will be able to minimize the risk and harm associated with alcohol and drugs and maximize your enjoyment of the culture you'll be in and the entire experience.
I mean, it's like I turned 21 as soon as I got here.
You can drink on the streets, no big deal. You see people walking around with, beers. It's an icebreaker because you go out for the first week or so, a week or 2 weeks, pretty much every single night, going to the bars and having a good time.
I feel bad saying it, but we drank probably 9 out of 10 nights we were first here. Like, we drank a lot.
When I came over here, I expected there to be a lot of drinking, and I would say that once I got here, there was probably even more than I had actually expected.
Europeans think that American students are just there to get drunk. A common comment I would hear from native Italians was that you could always tell who the Americans were because they were the loud ones, stumbling on the cobblestones at 2 in the morning.
The Germans must see us as very loud, obnoxious. We drink a lot and make a lot of noise when we do it.
Just calling attention to yourself in such a negative manner as being the drunk Americans at 2 in the morning can really gain negative attention and makes you, I think, more of a target for possible negative consequences.
We've had people in our group that got pickpocketed, and they were saying I just didn't even realize at all, just because I was kind of out of it. I had no idea what was going on. And I didn't realize till later that, my passport was stolen, my wallet was stolen right out of my purse that I was wearing the entire time.
I had a roommate who we rented motorinos when we were traveling to an island in Italy, and he had alcohol before going on the motorino and ended up getting in an awful accident where he needed medical attention and had to pay for the repairs of the motorino.
And the other incident occurred with another girl who had been excessively drinking, and she was in a bar and sort of lost track of her friends, and she'd been chatting it up with a guy. She was not accosted by this guy, but he was pretty much not going to leave her alone. She asked him to leave, and he was actually touching her and kind of trying to put the moves on her, and someone did arrive, and he ended up leaving. But it shook her up, and this was within a week of when the program started.
I would never go home alone or go out by yourself. Always have a friend with you while going out drinking or going out partying with people that you meet in a new country.
I think it's extremely critical to always be traveling with at least one other person. For the reasons that it is, a foreign country and you don't speak the language. And while most people are, very willing and open, a lot of people would be willing to take advantage of that.
Drinking, alcohol, consuming, experimentation is definitely part of the culture, especially studying abroad in Italy. But I found that with many of my roommates, they would be missing classes, missing buses to go on trips, really not being so consumed by dealing with the consequences of their overconsumption that they weren't able to take part in the experience of living in Florence.
Sure, alcohol does play a big part in daily life. In France, Italy, it's the wine. In Germany, it's the beer. And there's a lot consumed, but never at one time. It's much more about moderation and about enjoying the alcohol for what it is.
In Germany, drinking means getting together and having a good time, sitting together for 4 hours with 2 beers. It doesn't mean sitting together for 4 hours and having 20 beers.
It's very important to be respectful of what is culturally acceptable and what is, you know, considered appropriate.
I think that while you're over there, you're really trying to experience a culture and experience everything from the art and the buildings and the language and the food and all of this. You're trying to have fun, and when you drink too much, you're kind of pulling away from that. You know, you can really do that any place, and alcohol should be as a supplement, you know, socially to have a good time, but it shouldn't be what you're relying on to have a good time.
Because you'll find that you'll just want to go out every night when you get here, and then after a couple weeks, you're going to be broke and you're going to get sick, and it's not worth it. There's 4 months. Take your time and enjoy it.
Have your focus be elsewhere instead of, you know, 100% on another beer, you know, shots all around. Which, granted, that is fun sometimes, but just make sure that, you know, there's a part of your brain that is staying conscious about being responsible about all of it.
Keep it in moderation, but go out and have a good time too.
Have fun, don't ruin your fun by drinking too much, which definitely happens.
Don't go out and just party so crazy you're not going to remember the night, you know, just go and have a good time and be able to talk to some people and learn from them is what they'll learn from you.
I hope that this video presentation has given you a heads up, made you more aware and mindful of the role that alcohol can play in the study abroad experience. As you leave this presentation, we're hopeful that you will begin to formulate a plan. Think about how you want alcohol to impact your study abroad experience. Know that you want to maximize your experience of the culture. You don't want to miss out on any of the fun things that are going on. The choice is ultimately yours.